Hey everyone, happy Labor Day if you're in North America. I'm Tina Brigley and I'm here with a good friend of mine, Claire Thomas from Reaching My Best, who is a coach who helps women reawaken to their power. The reason why I wanted to have her on today is because one of the things she's really good at is helping women to honor their no. Sometimes we people please and we want to say no, but we end up saying yes and feeling resentful. Claire's going to teach us how to overcome that today. So, Claire, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me, Tina. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, for those of you that watched the summit, Claire was one of our speakers. You were amazing.
Thank you.
Claire, how did you, there's a lot of people that say yes when they want to say no. How did you become an expert in this topic?
Basically, through a lot of trial and error and a lot of pain of saying yes way too many times when I should have said no. And the more I've thought about it over the last months, I just can't believe how many areas of my life it permeated. I mean, literally everywhere from not really owning my decisions when in my career when I was younger, but just saying yes to every opportunity that came along, and then ending up in a career where I wasn't feeling fulfilled, in taking on a project every time I was given one and ending up feeling completely burnt out because I just couldn't do any more, and being given the projects because I was always the one that would complete them. From saying yes to friends and then feeling deep resentment, that I didn't want to honor my word to them, and being in situations where it's damaged friendships for even several years, and taken several years to get back to the place before I should have said no. So just there are so many areas where I should have done it and I didn't. And then a couple of years ago, I also trained to be a mediator. And when you do that sort of training as well, you learn how to have very powerful conversations with people and to get to the bottom of something. And it's all of that coming together that has mean I've been practicing saying no more when I mean no.
And what do you think is at the source of people saying yes when they mean no? Because I know one of the things that I do, people will say, "Do you want to do this seminar?" I'm like, in my head, no, no, no. And then they're so enrolling, and I'm like, yes. And then I show up, and then I want to quit. And it's almost like the inevitable happens. I say yes. I don't want to be there. Then I look for every reason and excuse, and then I feel resentful and this loss of power. So, what do you think is at the source of that? Why do we say yes when we really want to say no?
I think that, of course, there are many different reasons, but I think the key reason for most of us, and I think it's probably the case more for women, is that we just want to please people. We just want to be all things to all people. We want people to like us. We want to be seen as doing a good job. So we say yes because it keeps everybody happy. And I think that's the crux of it. And under that is a fear of not being liked, a fear of loneliness, a fear of just being left out in the dark.
One of the things that I love is that you help women reawaken to their power. So, when we say yes, when we mean no, we are giving our power away. So, how do we start to take our power back in those situations? Just like me, I know that there are people out there right now that are like, oh, I don't want to admit that this is a problem, but it is a problem. So, what's one of the ways that we can take our power back today?
Well, I think that the top tip that I'm always going to give, and I gave it in the summit talk that we did, was the first one is just pausing, because when you pause, you become aware of things, and until you have an awareness of what you're doing, you can't do anything. So that's obviously that's an overriding tip that I would give on pretty much everything. But underneath that, I think the next thing would be to just seek some clarification from somebody. If they're asking something of you, before you say yes to them, just ask a few more questions. Understand what that means to you by saying yes. How much time is it going to take away from you? When does it need to be done by? Which areas of your life is it going to impact? And when you take that time to answer those questions and ask those questions of the other person, then it gives you a place where you can have a negotiation rather than just saying a straight yes or no.
Oh, that's That's really important because I think the negotiation is what allows us to say, okay, yes, I can help, and this is what it looks like to help.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a yes and.
I guess another. So tell us a little bit. I know you have a masterclass coming up. Tell us who is it for, and speak to those people that are kind of hanging out right now, thinking, okay, this is me. Is this masterclass for me? So tell us a little bit about it. What will people get?
Yeah, so it's on Thursday evening. It's probably up to about 90 minutes long. It's an interactive session, so we're really going to get to the bottom of why people are saying yes when they mean no. So it's for you if you feel like you are walking through life saying yes to everything and it's leaving you feeling unhappy or unfulfilled in your career because you've said yes all the way along and you've ended up 2 decades later thinking, well, how did I get to here? This is not what I wanted to do. Or it could be that you're sacrificing your time to help other people and you just want to stop doing that because you're realizing that it's burning you out. You need to find a way to put yourself first and look after yourself. Um, it could be because you're constantly feeling that resentment bubbling below the surface because you have a fear of missing out on an event with your friends, but you just don't know how to say no to them, and but have the confidence that they'll still be your friend. There are
Mm.
just so many areas in our lives where we're doing this. So it's really for anyone that is feeling any of those situations.
Yeah, and I think there's so many times in life, right, where we know that we have a problem and we know that there's a solution, but then there's like a fear, right? There's a fear of what is the work involved? What do I have to do to really be able to honor my no? So for those people that are like, oh, I know it's an hour and a half master class, but like, is it really going to make a difference? Just speak into those people because I know they're out there because that would be me like an hour and a half. Is this really going to solve my problem in an hour and a half? Speak to those people right now that are watching.
Yeah, so this isn't just a there is going to be some of me showing you things, but this isn't a sit and watch. This is a really roll up your sleeves and let's discuss the areas that you are saying no, yes, when you mean no, and work through them together. And I think when you see other examples being played out and how so easy it is to own your no, and you start putting it into practice and little ways of doing it, like pausing, like asking questions, and you start practicing those. At the end of the session, you'll come away and you will know how to go into that next situation where you can own your no. So
Mm,
the aim is to really come out of the session knowing how to own your no.
beautiful. And what I'm hearing, everyone who's watching right now, this is a live interactive coaching session. So if this is you, you are struggling with this and you don't want to do that anymore, it's free. Get the coaching, show up for yourself so that you can have more confidence. You can reawaken your power within and you can live a more fulfilling life. So, Claire, where can they find? I think in the show notes we have the link.
Yeah.
You said it is Thursday evening. That's UK time, right?
Yes. 6 p.m. UK time, which I believe is 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Thursday,
It's
1.
on Zoom.
Beautiful. So there's a link in the show notes. If this is you, click the link, register today. And if you know somebody that is struggling with this, reach out to them and say, girl, guy, I just saw this video and this woman is helping people like you to really overcome this. And I thought it might be of value for you. Send it to a friend. It might be the one thing that helps them shift something in them. So, Claire, thank you for being here, sharing a few nuggets. Any final words or thoughts?
Um, I think it feels scary to talk about owning your no, and everybody's going to have a fear of doing it. It does make us step out of our comfort zone. And in this masterclass, it's about practicing it in a safe environment. And once you take that into the real world and you start trying it, you'll see what a massive difference it can make. It can and really, really can be life changing.
Yeah, beautiful. And one of the things that just came up for me, how many times do we say yes when we mean no? And then we look for an excuse, and people know we're looking for an
Yeah,
excuse. Like, we're not tricking anybody, people. We're not tricking anybody. They know we're full
exactly.
of shit. So why not just stand in your no, stand in your power, and let somebody help you get to where you need to be and where you want to be in your life. So, Claire, thank you so much for
My
giving
pleasure.
this value. So needed and so appreciated. And thank you for watching. If you think somebody might get value from this, make sure you share it. And we'll see you back next time. Thanks, Claire.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.